You on? Alright, let's roll. Sophia Stewart. Who is she and why does she even matter? Well, here's why. It has recently come to my attention regarding something that I read a few years back. I want to say 2012, 2013, when I was locked up in another prison camp. There's a brother, an author, and a scholar by the name of Supreme Understanding, and he wrote a few books. Knowledge of Self, Science of Self, How to Hustle and Win, Volume 1 and 2. I believe it was in How to Hustle and Win. He revealed and let it be known that the movie The Matrix was written by a sister, a black woman. This was the first time I had ever heard this. But he didn't really give any background information other than just stating that, making that statement. Alright? Fast forward 2019. Being inquisitive, being a researcher, and always, taking things like that and storing it in the back of my mind. I'm scrolling through YouTube, because even though YouTube is not an official library, it's beneficial in a lot of ways, because if you can manage to sort through the bullshit, you can find some stuff on there that has a lot of truth in it and factual. Alright. Sophia Stewart. That is the name of the beautiful sister who wrote and came up with the idea for the Matrix, which was initially called Third Eye of the Matrix, something like that. Alright? And according to her, and I'm going to try to leave the link or make it possible to put the link in here so that you can go on YouTube before they erase it, because once it gets too many views or it causes controversy, they try to take stuff like that down. But Google Sophia Stewart. She says she got her paperwork, so it got to be on file in the Copyright Office that she came up with this. I believe she quoted the dates 81, 83, and 84. Alright? But her name is Sophia Stewart. She not only wrote The Matrix, she also responsible for the original Terminator. What was the name? End of Days or something about the end of times or something like that. I'm not really a big Terminator fan, so I never really was drawn to it like that. But I might go check it out now that I see that that's her handiwork. And prior to this, I had big respect for James Cameron because I felt like the guy was a fucking genius, but he's credited with directing movies like Terminator. I don't know if he got the credit for writing it or anything like that, but I know for a fact he played a hand in directing it and bringing it to screen. But what got my respect was Avatar. I used to subscribe to about 5 or 6 magazines. Black Enterprise, Entrepreneur, Fast Company, Inc. as in incorporated, not ink tattoo. Popular Science, and Wired Magazine. And Wired Magazine had a big old printout on James Cameron, and it broke down the making of the movie Avatar. And it went into great detail about the length, the extent, the work he put into making his movie. And I gained a respect and appreciation for this dude's genius, if that is his work, But having discovered that, like most of them, they steal our shit and take the credit for it, my opinion has changed. So I'm gonna have to do a little digging just to see if that's really his work now. But the sister Sophia Stewart, who is very knowledgeable too, if you listen to her speak, you're gonna know that's her work, because she goes in depth about the metaphysics and the spiritual and the biblical and the unspoken elements of our existence and the importance of being conscious, and how the woman's womb, which is called the Matrix in Latin, is really the gateway. And if you listen to her speak, you're gonna know that homegirl is responsible for stuff like that. But anyway, I'm fired up. I'm kind of burnt. And I'm not burnt or fired up to the point where I want to flash out and do something reactionary. I'm motivated. You know how you have a fire burning already? Because I'm already conscious and I already write a lot. I already think a lot. So this fact, this discovery, this revelation has me fired up to the point where I'm motivated to bring this to the light. People need to know this, sir, especially people of color in this country. Another thing that has come to my attention is that all this stuff about slavery and the way they've been depicting it and the story and the narrative that they've told is not entirely true. I still got to do some digging. I got to get access to some real libraries. And I'm going to either have to do that through a tablet or an iPhone or some type of MacBook. I don't want to wait till I get out of here because that might be a few more years. But I need to do me some real serious digging and research and investigating to find out if the indigenous people are us. Alright, I've heard it, I've read it, but I'm not 1,000% convinced. Not that I'm doubting it, is I'm a thinker. And I don't just run with shit people tell me. I don't care who it is. You could be black. You know, I got to have something to go off of because my credibility means something to me. You know what I'm saying? But it needs to be known who Sophia Stewart is. So I'm going to make it my business to either do a longer and more extensive blog or vlog or, you know, web page on it. I'm gonna write an essay like I typically do because I have the ability to capture things when I take my time and write it down. Especially when I'm on my level, I just be flowing with it. But also like now when I'm fired up, the spirit hits me, I flow with it. My pen is my sword, so to speak. But the world needs to know who Sophia Stewart is. And I'm going to make that one of my missions. I'm going to add that to my plate because young sisters and brothers need to know who Sophia Stewart is. The movie Matrix is deep, especially part 1. The rest of them, bullshit. Like she said, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, part 2 and 3. They didn't even know where they was going. They didn't have no sense of direction. But in part 1, which was a theft and an adaptation of her original work, you can tell, you can pick up on the meaning, the significance, and the science behind it. Man, y'all gotta meet this sister. Y'all gotta watch and listen to her speak in this interview. In fact, I need to go back on YouTube, get the link, and provide y'all with the link. But just Google or type in on YouTube or hit the microphone and say Sophia Stewart, original author of the Matrix and the Terminator movies, both of those franchises, and which lends credibility and validation to her claim that this is her work. Warner Brothers offered her $5 million in hush money. I'm calling it hush money because, you know, in essence, they wanted her to take this money and go shut up and be quiet. All right, yeah, we know this is your work. We know you got the copyrights. We seen the pictures. I mean, we seen the copyrights. We also know you got letters from us corresponding back and forth with somebody that used to work for Columbia Studios who left and went work for 20th Century Fox or somebody. And we know you got correspondence, so you can prove this. So you ain't just making this up. So they offered her $5 million. Like a smart sister, the smart sister she is, she turned it down. And I'm proud of her. But I'm going to end this, but I'm really just pausing it. But I'm going to end it /pause it for right now. And I'll be back with you on this.